Thank you, gentlemen. And the first thing I want to talk about, as we saw on the screen at the end of that game, Dom, big hug to Peter there. Obviously very excited, one, about winning the game, but you have to guess that a lot of that is coming from securing yet another smite, because that was, in a sense, their downfall against Cloud9. You know, he had the opportunity to secure a smite there, didn't get it, cost him the game. Here, in this series, 3. 1 contested that he secured, and 2 that he has stolen.
And there's a lot that goes into smiting. I mean, I Will Dominate said after the series to Cloud9 that he feels like he let his team down because he loves to pride himself on his smiting ability. There's actually a very similar thing that happened in both of these cases where there was a missed Nunu secure on Baron. So when I Will Dominate did it against Cloud9, he got his Consume Smite off, but Cloud9 had stopped damage, so therefore Consume Smite was not enough damage to kill it. You can see Dominate right there, really pumped about that Smite steal because he got it this time. What happened to the Team Impulse Smite? We checked it multiple times here.
Yeah, verified and verified again.
Because it was pretty crazy. First off, there's double Smite for that team, and there's Consume. Couple things to keep in mind, though. It is a rank 1 Consume.
400
so it's
damage.
only doing 400 true damage. Rush actually was consuming the Baron early because they were trying to burst it down, just like we saw Impact use his Smite early. But all those spells were up by the time they did it again. Rush got his Consume Smite off, but that only did about 1,100 damage. Baron had 1,500 left. Impact did not smite in that case. So whatever number they had chosen to burst Baron at did not happen. Impact didn't smite it. It's actually really tricky to coordinate double smite with Consume.
I was just about to say, it's a very interesting case study in coordination between these teams, and Impulse being a younger team. When you compare them to the likes of Cloud9, where we spoke to Meteos, and Meteos said, I am so confident in my team stopping hitting Baron when I tell them to, knowing that it will not go below 1,500 health if I tell them not to put it below 1,500 health, and therefore we can secure it. Here, there was obviously some kind of miscommunication that the number that they had agreed on, or maybe they never agreed on a number, that the smites didn't go off.
Yeah, and it's the 3rd time in 2 weeks they've lost Baron with double smite, which is ridiculous. They aren't picking the numbers properly, or they're not trusting each other to do so, because honestly, the way I like to do it is you have to pick a somewhat conservative number, because Baron jumps around in health like crazy. Sometimes you'll see it at 2,500. Next frame, it'll be at 1,800. So pick a number where you have double smite and a consume. It has to be like 1,800, because anything above that number, they can't, but anything below that number, they can secure 100% and the enemy won't be able to steal. If they picked 1,800, the instant they both see it, which will happen at the same time, they press all their abilities and they would have it. For the most part. But even with that, there's still a cast time on Consume. It's not super simple.
There are still many variables that you can't necessarily account for 100%, but there are ways to tip the scales in your favor.
There's a whole other game.
Right. There was a whole game before that. Now let's get into that. Phoenix got an early lead here with that pickup kill on Impact, as well as the solo out in the mid lane. Xiao was still farming well, though. So when we look at that matchup, and we've talked about it a ton today, and I realize that I don't want to belabor it too much. I don't want to dock Xiao too hard for his play in this game early, because it wasn't his choice to give a first blood.
Yeah, LeBlanc versus Ahri is a tricky matchup, because Ahri has good enough base damages that she can very easily go like Abyssal Scepter early, which is what happened there. We even saw at IM Katowice, the WE mid laner would go Abyssal Athenes in every game and was unkillable on Ahri. You add to the fact that Xiao gave up first blood, and because Ahri built so magic resist heavy, Xiao had one target to kill in that game, and it was a Sivir who had a spell shield. Not exactly a situation to succeed, which is another curious thing about Xiao and the way he picks champions, because this is the 2nd time where he gets to choose what he wants to pick, and he hasn't really made the optimal choice half the time.
Picking LeBlanc into tanky champions like Sion and Gragas, as well as an AD carry that has a spell shield, so can negate some of your burst when you are a champion that needs to combo somebody out, and then you have some downtime before you can throw another round of burst down. And where I kind of want to look next into this game is, and compliment at the same time, Team Liquid on how they played out the fights and recognizing where their power was.
Yeah, they had a really good mid-game team fight at the Dragon area, which was even a fight where Xiao actually did well. Xiao ended up picking up a kill on that Sivir. We actually have that clip. We can pull that one up because I want to talk through it kind of play by play here. Team Liquid starts the Dragon because they feel like they are much stronger, and Ari also has flank positioning. So as you can see, Impulse will want to contest this one. Xiao is pretty far away. With this fight, it's mainly about the tank line and Team Liquid being able to zone control properly, as well as Phoenix not having any genuine threat on him. He can go straight to the back line because the tanks are providing so much zone control in the middle. Since Xiao got the flank, he killed Piglet, which for Impulse, honestly, if that happens at the start of the fight, they should be able to win that one. But because Team Liquid recognized how powerful Quas was, because of the awesome play Quas made out of that brush, and because of the lead that Ari had accrued throughout the early game, Phoenix dealt with the squishies in the top, and the tanks dealt with everyone.
Right, and we just see the item build manifest itself there with that tankiness that Ari had. She felt free to dive through the entire team, knowing that LeBlanc was not a threat. Corki was really the only person who might be able to do damage to her. But since he was zoned out with the Nautilus ult, it was essentially a 1v1 in the backline.
Yeah, I like that team fight from Team Liquid, and it's been a super back-and-forth series. I mean, these were not teams that we actually thought could play a back-and-forth series, because both of their series in the semifinals was Team Liquid 2-0, backdoor sweep. TiP won the first game, lost 3 in a row. So as far as experience goes, Impulse had 4 new members from last season. This is their first experience in the playoffs. They're getting better at playing best of fives. Team Liquid is doing the same thing. It's a team that has been heavily affected by nerves in the past. Piglet says playing against him is like, or Double has said playing against Piglet is like playing against a bomb. And obviously, that's not necessarily true in this set.
Right, exactly. And you see Liquid up on your screens again, clearly still trying to work out what they want to do here, Game 5. I mean, you talk about pressure again, where this has been a back-and-forth series. So both of these teams, neither one of them really needs to be in the mindset of utter defeat. They're not getting run back on themselves, but neither of them is on a winning streak. So when you're approaching this 5th game, you can see, oh, looks like they're headed back in now. But
game plan made.
Exactly, yeah. It came to them, epiphany. No, but you can see, you know, how much is required in terms of discussion to really, I mean, this is your last chance right here. Yeah. Break the forever 4th curse, and you have to wonder, what do they go with? When you talk about Piglet being a ticking time bomb, are they going to go with that Vayne, Twitch, try and get him to the late game? Or are they going to go with the utility-based Sivir here that's been working for him if they let, you know, Phoenix get ahead and be the carry?
The tank team worked very well for them since they controlled the Sivir pick and could move the tanks around the map. This time, we do switch back to the pick ban sides we had on Game 1, where Impulse will have blue side and Team Liquid will get the last pick. So it now changes. It's been all about whether Xiao picks the right thing or fumbles his last pick. Maybe Team Liquid does an Orianna ban and then last picks Phoenix a mid laner. And this could actually be Phoenix's chance on his first split with Team Liquid / Curse to break the curse.
To get the counter pick. I would like to see Liquid go for the Sivir if they have the, if it is open, take that in their first rotation. I like the idea that they can reposition themselves in team fights, and I don't think that Piglet needs to hard carry this game.
Definitely not.
They have shown this so far in the series that they can beat Impulse straight up when things are even and they have the comp they want. We'll keep it tuned right here for the game-deciding conclusion of this battle for 3rd place between Team Impulse and Team Liquid. Stay with us.